Hey guys, so welcome again in this particular session. In the last session, we are looking into the object-oriented programming abstract concept. So in abstract, we created this base class and abstract class using the abstract keyword, and we created two methods as in regular methods, or we can say default methods, and we created a couple of abstract method as well. So like abstract method can be created like this by using the abstract keyword. Okay, you need to provide page as in if you will not provide the abstract keyword, then this will ask for the body. So yeah, you can create like this. Similarly, we also designed a diagram, and I hope if not, then it's okay. And in we created some login page or home page. Okay, this was a parent page or parent abstract class, and inside the login page, we override those functionality. Also, we created some custom method for login functionality itself, and this is implementing. Login page is implementing the page. Page is parent and login page is the child or derived class. Similarly, we created home page as well. And at the end, in the Flipkart test, we also seen practically by launching the Flipkart that header and some logo were static. So we put all the information. Those are like remain same throughout the application, just like header. Okay, so we kept those information inside the abstract class, and some things which are like dynamic. Okay, maybe the page title, those kind of things. So we kept them inside the page classes, login page class or home page class, and then try to access those things through the Flipkart test. Okay, so inside this we created the object of the class, child class like home page, and yeah, we access those methods, running, executed this and see the output. Also, we looked into that top casting. So yeah, it's available over here. We can do the top cast. And today in today's session, I'll show you one more practical example of top casting. Why we need the top casting every time we are the parent object reference variable referring to the child, and also like downcasting is not possible because the reason is very straight and clear. We cannot create object of an abstract class. That is the main reason. Okay, so just like we created one abstract class over here, how will you identify that my class is abstract or not? By using this abstract keyword. So you just need to look into this. So my question is that here we have some regular methods or default methods and some abstract methods. So my question is it compulsory to define abstract method in abstract class? Means is it compulsory to define these abstract methods? If I'll not have these methods, then will there be any kind of error or something else? Okay, let's look into this quickly. Let me create. Don't touch this because this concept is already built. Let's create a new class. Directly class, and let us say some give meaningful name. Let us say web application. We have web app class. Okay, add. So I need to create this class and abstract. So how will do that? Just use an abstract keyword. ABSTRACT abstract keyword. Okay. Now create some methods, default methods, or I can say regular methods. Let us say public void URL method is there. Okay, and create one more method. Let us say public void. Let us say title method is there. So couple of methods we have. So you see, like there is no as such error. We haven't defined any abstract method inside this, even though there is no as such error. That means it's not mandatory to define the abstract method inside abstract class. Correct? So yeah, always remember this. Either we can have uh, like non-abstract method, or we can say regular default methods. We can have abstract. Both of the things can be achieved. So let me define some abstract method. Let us say public abstract abstract. Let us say void public abstract void some header. Header will be same, so it's an abstract method. Create one more abstract method. Let us say footer. Okay. So means either we can have default methods, we can have both default or we can say regular as well as abstract method, or either we can have the abstract method as well. So abstract class allows all the three combinations: regular versus as well as abstract, only abstract, only regular. So can we say can we say like this is partial abstraction? Can we achieve 0% abstraction? Yeah, that is possible. Can we achieve 100% abstraction? 100% abstraction means all the methods would be abstract method. 0% abstraction means there would be no abstract method. And partial abstraction means there are like some methods are regular and some are abstract. Yeah. So always remember this. It's a very famous interview question. They will ask, is 100% abstraction is possible? So you should keep this concept in your mind. Yeah, abstract. The meaning of 100% abstraction is that over all the methods inside an abstract class going to be abstract, not a single regular method. Is this possible? Yeah, it's possible. So we can say we can achieve 0% abstraction. 0%, 0% abstraction. So it's possible. 0% abstraction means no no abstract method in a in an abstract class, right? So let us say if I'll comment this out, now this is a 0% abstraction means there is no abstract method. Okay, and we also can achieve 100% abstraction. 100% abstraction means only only abstract methods in abstract class, right? Just like if I'll comment this, if I'll remove this, then this is 100% abstraction we are achieving. Okay, this is also possible. And 0 to 100%, I would say 0 to 100% abstraction, or we can also call this as partial abstraction, right? So in the partial abstraction, meaning is that we have abstract methods plus non-abstract, right? So in this particular example of web app, we are achieving partial abstraction. Got it? Okay. So like this may also like this is the difference between the interface and abstract as well. So now I know the things has been changed after C Sharp 8.0 release. I already have explained you that. But even though in the general terms, now even we used to say like this. The developer also use this concept like interface is 100% abstraction, right? Like there is no partial abstraction inside that. Now it's possible, but that is contradictory. Like we can have normal regular method in interface as well, but in general terms we can say uh, in most of the cases even now, just like Webdriver is itself in an interface, so all the method would be we can say method would without be body. There would not be any body to the interface methods. So we can say the 100% the interface is an 100% abstraction, but the abstract class can be the combination of both. If you want to achieve 100% abstraction, then use interfaces. Got it? Any question, confusion? So the yeah, you got it.
Yes.
Okay. So interface. When to use interface? When you want 100% abstraction, or you want to hide your implementations, just like WHO. He want to hide 100% information, then use interface. Or just like US medical and UK medical, so they don't want to make it like 100% hidden info. There are few hidden information for them, so you can make them as abstract class as well. So there would be 50% hidden methods and 50% open methods. Yeah. So we can achieve these things in this way. So I hope you have understood the concept of abstraction and interface. What is it? Abstract class? What is interface? If not, then let me give you one more practical example. We will design an app automation application. We can say Selenium. So where is our folder? Or we can directly design over here. So if you have little bit of prior knowledge about Selenium, if you have seen some code or like you have watched some tutorial, did some hands-on, then you may be aware about the command Webdriver driver is equal to new Chrome driver or new Firefox driver. If we have to launch any browser, then we need to create the object of the driver class. Okay, so how that system is being designed, how the Selenium is working at the backend. So how these concept of abstractions or interfaces are written over there by the Selenium developers. We'll try to decode by this particular example. So for an example, let us say, do you know what is WebDriver? So again, it's an very important point and interview question. What is an just like few days back, I was in an interview process. So interviewer was asking these very small concept like what is WebDriver. So WebDriver is the simplest answer is that WebDriver is an interface. Then that will go inside this. What is an interface? What is the difference between interface and abstraction? Yeah. So WebDriver is an interface. Okay. We already know what is the interface. All the method would we can define without the body and all those concepts that we have discussed. So always remember. And the question might be like this as well. Could you please tell me 5 interfaces name that you have used in Selenium? So at the time of Selenium, we'll discuss this, but like the question might be like this as well. Give me some 5 or 10 interfaces name that you have been used in your framework while implementing the Selenium. Yeah. So let us say this is my WebDriver interface. Okay. So inside this, if we are creating interface, then all the method would be without body, right? This is WebDriver interface. So inside the WebDriver interface, of course, like there would be some methods. Okay, so methods like only I would say methods without body, right? That's why we are creating. We are not implementing the methods. So what kind of methods are there inside the interface? Just like we can take some example. Let's say we need to get the URL in C sharp. So that kind of method, or maybe like you need to click on something, or I can say like send keys. Okay, send keys method is there, and let us say you need to close the browser. So these kind of methods are defined inside this WebDriver interfaces. So these are like not implemented method. These are just the method without body. Okay. Any question?
अंकित
Yeah.
शायद स्क्रीन लॉक हो गई
Uh, okay. Aswini, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, you have typed web interface and in a block and
Yeah.
mentioned
Let,
all the.
let me share it again. Let me know if it's visible. I'm just creating a diagram. We are developing an automation tool. So is it visible now?
Yes,
मेरा इंटरनेट हो गया पूरा रिचार्ज करना पड़ेगा
Okay, okay, okay. Please make it.
हाँ अभी
Okay,
यू
okay, sure.
कंटिन्यू
Thank you. So, yeah. So we are discussing the WebDriver interface. So similarly, just like we have this interface, WebDriver interface. we can have one more interface. uh, we cannot, like we can have, but like this is the internal design of Selenium, I can say. I'll also explain you these concepts at the time of Selenium, but for this abstraction or interface kind of example to clear it, how they have designed the Selenium internally, I am explaining this. So there is an search context interface. Context interface is always defined by I in C sharp. There is something like I, that means it's an interface. I WebDriver interface. Okay, and this is I would say I search context. This is I search context. Okay. Inside this search context interface, there are some unimplemented methods also available over here. Just like the find element. Have you heard the find element and find elements? So these are in the separate interface that the name is I search context. Find element and find elements methods are there. Okay, and there are some browser driver classes. Let us say we have one class for, let us say, Chrome driver, Firefox driver, IE driver, Safari driver, Opera driver. So there are some driver classes. These are my classes. Okay, let's give them meaningful name. We can say this is Chrome driver. We can have Firefox driver. Okay, and we can have like Safari driver class over here. These are the driver classes inside our app. And let us see Opera driver. Okay, and one more, let us say as driver. Now these, like these classes are implementing this interface. Like Chrome driver double dot, they are writing iWebDriver. Means all these methods are being implemented inside these classes, right? If I'll show you this practically as well in the form of coding, but these particular concepts, just like there is a page class and there are some methods, some abstract methods. So all the abstract methods, or just like US medical, we were having in the US medical was an interface. So in that interface, we were having some methods. So all the methods were being accessed by the child class. Just like if I need to implement it, then double dot, I would like the name of that web driver. Okay, I will write the name of the interface, and all those things would be accessed inside the Chrome driver. Yeah, so these properties are being accessed, and this is the parent interface of this WebDriver interface. So this is extending, this WebDriver is extending all the functionality from the iSearch context. Okay, so like they might ask you like why WebDriver is an interface. So cannot be an abstract class. वेब ड्राइवर को हमने इंटरफेस ही क्यों बनाया, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट नहीं हो सकता जिसमें कुछ अनइम्प्लीमेंटेड मेथड होते हैं, कुछ इम्प्लीमेंटेड होते हैं. सो या दैट इज पॉसिबल, वी कैन क्रिएट इट एब्स्ट्रैक्ट एज वेल, बट the thing over here is that like WebDriver, we will not like most of the cases we will not create, we cannot create the object of that WebDriver, right? Because it's an interfaces. So implementations needed according to the browser drivers. Okay, I need to launch the Chrome driver, I don't need to launch the WebDriver or like that. I need to launch the Firefox driver. So inside my class itself, I'll write the code that how to launch a Chrome driver or how to launch a Firefox driver or Safari driver. So implementations needs according to the classes. So the classes will access all the methods from WebDriver itself. Okay, so that's why it's an interface. We can make it abstract as well, but like according to me, that is the good approach. Like they just have make this as an interface. Okay, so let's move back to that part, and to understand this, let's create let's say one more folder. Add, where is that add? Let us say some good name, Webdriver architecture. Okay, inside the Webdriver architecture I need to create some interfaces, just like we have to inside the diagram we have to interface. How to create an interface? Let's click on new item, select interface, and give a meaningful name. Let us say we are creating the Webdriver interface. Okay, and we are having, this is an interface, and we have one more interface, and new item, interface, and give an good qualified name. Just say I I search context interface, and let's rename this. This is iWebDriver interface. Okay, so we are having two interfaces, iSearch context and iWebDriver. In iSearch context, we have two abstract methods, or we can say unimplemented methods. Always remember, like most of the cases, we use interface just to achieve 100% abstraction. Means there would be no implemented method inside that interface. So let's create what are the two available methods in Selenium for iSearch context interface. Maybe we can write it like this: public void find element. So like this without any body, and we can write find element and find elements. Inside this we can provide argument as well. Okay, we will provide like CSS selector or XPath, whatever we require. So this iSearch context, this is my interface, and these have two unimplemented methods like this. Now what I have one more WebDriver, so that will extend, because the context context, this particular interface is the parent of iWebDriver. So this will be extending those properties, right? We can write it like this. So you see, like there is no SS error. He is not asking to implement all these unimplemented method. Why? Because WebDriver is also an interface. So we cannot implement inside the web interface anything inside the implementers. This WebDriver will also have the unimplemented methods. Or if you want, then yeah, if you want to override the parent interface methods, if you want to override these parent interface methods inside this, then you can do that. Let us say if you want to have these methods over here, these are the overridden methods. Let us say there is a warning, either make it new, use new keyword, or use the override keyword. If you will use override, then what would be the error? Uh, so if you use override keyword, then what would be the thing? Then you need to make it virtual. Okay. So only you can make them overridden if these are your virtual methods, and you cannot define it virtual because it's saying must be declare a body because it's not marked abstract. So like if you are writing these methods like this, so then it's fine. And if you are making this virtual, then it's saying that please define a method body. Why? Why this is saying must declare a body? Because it's not marked abstract, external, or partial. So either you need to make it abstract or partial or static methods. Okay, otherwise you will not be able to override it. So yeah, this you can achieve. You can make it new or like virtual overridden as well. Okay, but like that is not required. Our main focus over here is to implement some, just like according to the diagram that we have created, these particular classes, these we will have this find element and find elements inside the iSearch context, and inside the WebDriver interface, the WebDriver interface will have his own unimplemented, or we can say unimplemented methods. Okay, what are those methods? Let us create those. Let us say public void click method is there, and let us say public void we have send keys in WebDriver, and let us say public void, and you can provide like some string value as well inside send key. Let us say string value. Okay, and we have inside the Selenium we have URL method as well, from where you can set the URL or launch the URL. Let us say some parameter string URL, and you can have public void title as well. You can get the title. Okay, the title method is used to get the title in Selenium C sharp. So internally they have made this WebDriver class like this, that C Selenium developers. Or maybe some more methods just like if you need to close or quit the browser, then there is a close method available. By using this, you can close the browser. Okay. So these are the things that has been, these are the unimplemented method, or this is we can say 100% abstraction. Interface is 100% abstract we can achieve. So all these are unimplemented methods. Just and definition of the methods is available over here. Okay, and this particular iWebDriver is being extending the iSearch context. Now let's create the WebDriver classes. Let's create our first class. Class name is, let us say, Chrome driver class. So this is my class. So class can implement an interface. Let us say WebDriver, iWebDriver. Here is my. So now this there is an error. What is the error? They are saying if hey if you are implementing this, then you must need to provide the body to all my unimplemented methods. Okay. So if you click this implement interface, this is saying. Okay. So you need to, if you select this, then automatically all that methods was available inside iWebDriver class that will get implemented. Okay, and let's, without throwing any error, let's give our custom lines over here. Let us say you can say, and you see like find element and find elements also come over here, from where they derived. These are that super parent. WebDriver is the parent of Chrome driver, and these are not available inside that parent. So from where it's coming? These are coming from the I interfaces. Okay, you also need to implement these as well. Why? Because this internally this I WebDriver class is in like implementing or inheriting that super class that is iSearch context. So let's say print one line. We can say uh, click on element. Okay. Similarly, you can give some meaningful name. You can say close the browser, and you can write it like this, just like you need to find something inside the find element. You can write it find element. Okay, and this would be find elements. This is a dummy, like to just get an idea like how an the automation tool can be developed. Inside the send keys, you can send some values. Let us say you need to enter something, just like username or password. Let us say enter value, and what would be the value? that we are sending as an argument. Okay, and the title. What's the title? Inside the title, we will return. Let us say you can return. You can make it string type as well. Currently, this is void. So from here, instead of void, you can write it string as well. So also remember, like the abstract method or unimplemented method can have the return type as well. So this method have string as a written type. These are having void as a written type. If I'll make this string, that means this is of string type. Then we need to return string value from here. Let us say we need to return some string. Let us say some title. Yeah, write it directly. And we have like one more method called URL. So by using this, we will launch. You can say launch URL. Launch URL. Which URL? The URL that we passed to the past. Yeah. So you see, this is how in my Chrome driver giving the meaning or like giving implementation to the methods that are being defined inside this parent interface as an unimplemented method. Just like this click, from where its click is coming. This click is coming from the iWebDriver class. But inside the iWebDriver, there is no body method body is given. Don't know like where to click and how to click. But it must be defined inside the iWebDriver class, and inside the derived class inside the Chrome driver class we are giving this in particular like meaningful implementation. Okay, good so far. Now similarly we can have some other classes as well. Okay, we can have some other classes as well, just like Firefox driver and other classes. So my question to you is that can I create the constructor of Chrome driver? Can I create the constructor of this? Yes, of course I can create. It's a normal class and I can create the constructor of this. So let's create. How to create the constructor? There might be parameterized constructor or default constructor. So let's create a default constructor. Let us say the constructor name would be always be same as the class. Let us say Chrome driver. So inside this Chrome driver, you are saying like this. As soon as the user will create the object of my Chrome driver, the browser should get launched. So to launch the browser, the code should be written over here. Let us say launch Chrome launch Chrome browser. Okay. So as soon as the user will create the object of just he will write Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. This particular line will launch the browser because inside this there is a constructor and the code is written inside the constructor to launch the browser. Okay. The moment when we create the object of the Chrome driver, the Chrome browser will get launched. Okay. Like we are on same page till now. Now, similarly, just like we created Chrome driver, we can create multiple classes are there inside or we are developing WebDriver architecture or WebDriver tool. Okay. So let's create Firefox driver class. You can take it small. Yeah, this is Firefox driver. So the everything would be same. Here also we need to implement it from iWebDriver, right? Then there would be an error. Now all these you can copy, paste all these methods, right? Inside the Firefox as well. You just need to change that constructor name. So now my constructor name would be Firefox driver and we need to launch the Firefox launch Firefox browser. Okay, then the click, same implementation, kind of need to close, find elements, everything like implementations would be same. And these classes can have custom methods as well because as I told you that Firefox can have their own or individual methods as well. But Selenium didn't did anything individually. Why? I'll explain you later. but yeah, it can have, that depends. Similarly, as we created two Chrome driver and Firefox driver, we can create some other driver classes as well, right? Let us create one more. Let us say you are creating one more class called Safari driver class. The same method can be implemented if you are implementing an iWebDriver interface. Then you need to provide the body method available inside WebDriver, iWebDriver. Okay, then you can write it like the just change the constructor name. The constructor name would be Safari driver launch Safari browser, right? So now you are launching the Safari browser. Everything else would be same, right? So you have basically three drivers: Chrome driver, Firefox driver, and Safari driver. Similarly, just like Selenium, what they did, they have created a separate class for every browser. For Opera browser, they have designed a class just like this as we are doing. Okay, inside the constructor, they have write the code, the APIs that will hit the that they will launch the Chrome browser from our system, and the entire code is written over there, and these methods are implemented from the WebDriver interface. Inside the WebDriver, there are some Selenium commands written over there to launch the browser, to get the title, to close the browser. Yeah, so this is how it's being like developed, I would say. Now, so now our tool is ready and we need to test it. So let us say we need to test it on Google page, or let's create one test class, or we can say Google test. You need to perform testing, or you need to launch the Chrome browser and open the Google URL over there. Let us say Google URL, and you need to create main method inside that. Okay, this is our Google test class. Now, if I need to access, if I need to launch, or we can say the Chrome driver, then what should I need to do? I need to create the object of the Chrome driver class. Of course, let us say Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver, right? So what I have done over here, I just created the object of the Chrome driver class. What will happen as soon as I'll create the object of this class and I run this program? My access will come over here, navigate inside this, and the code inside this constructor, the code is written over inside the default constructor. The code is written over here to launch a Chrome browser. So my Chrome browser should get launched. Let's execute it. Before that, let's set the parameters. Starting. Where is the start of? Yeah, Google test. Okay, let's run it. If you know the Selenium, then you can see that. If don't know, then it's okay. But if you know the Selenium, then you can say that this line always launch your browser. In Selenium, if you write Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. So always this line will launch a browser. So same thing we have achieved, launch Chrome browser, right? Although we are painting this value, but we can write a practical code as well to launch the browser. But you just need to understand the logic, how the logic is being written. So logic is that as soon as you will create the object of the Chrome driver, then the Chrome browser should get launched. So we are launching the Chrome browser. Now, after launching the Chrome browser, you can access the methods that had been written inside this Chrome driver class. Let us say URL. So inside this, you need to provide the URL. Now, what is the URL for Google? https google.com. Okay, so I just write Google, just give a practical. Yeah, here is my full qualified URL name. This is my URL. And what are the other methods? Let us say you need to get the title, driver dot title. So this title will return in string kind of value, right? String we have defined. So store this inside a string. Let us say title. is equal to this, and further you may print it. Console.writeLine, or you may print title. So there is an error. Let's find it. Cannot convert method group title to non-delegate string. Did you? Okay. So what is the type of this? This is in string. And over here, there is some error. Here is my driver class. We didn't use the delegates concept. Yeah, you just need to provide that the method would be accessed like this, driver dot title. So this is how you need to access with that brackets. That's why it's not behaving like a method. So just print this line. Similarly, you can access, you can find some element on Google page, find element, driver dot, we can say find elements. Okay, you can access the find elements as well. And you can click somewhere, click on the element, right? Because all these commands are written inside that Chrome driver class. And you can use driver dot send keys. Okay, inside the send keys, you see you need to provide some values. For an example, I need to send mail ID, let us say ankit@gmail.com for an example. And at the last, you can close your browser. Okay, right? So this is how you need to like we need to develop a tool in which in my practical when we'll work with the Selenium, yeah, this is how we need to call the Selenium command driver dot find element, and inside this by using XPath or CSS selector ID we can find the element, and we can click on the element, we can send something inside the element, we can close. This is a very practical example of using the interfaces. Okay, now if I'll run this, let's execute it and analyze the output. Let's run this. What will happen? At the very first, our Chrome browser should get launched. Okay, now we are launching the Chrome browser, then launch the URL. This is my URL, then get some title. Okay, and yeah, we'll get some title over here. After that, we are finding some element, find element, click on some element, enter some values, and at then close the browser. This is how an automation tool works. Okay. Now, if you want to launch the Firefox browser, what would be your approach? So you just need to change a single line this time. Okay. If you will change the single line, then entire code would and the rest code would be same. Only the object need to be changed. The rest of the thing would be same. So this is my object. I created the Chrome driver class object to launch the Chrome browser. If I want to launch the Firefox browser, Firefox driver is equal to new Firefox driver. Now let's comment the above line. I have commented this line because you cannot have, so spelling should be same. Reference. Let us see if DRI driver, then let's give same name to this, and we can comment this. Okay, right? So there should not be any error. Okay, this line was launching the Chrome driver. Now, if I'll create the object of the Firefox driver, then this default constructor will get invoked, and the code to launch the Firefox browser this time will get invoked, and the rest thing would be same, the output. Okay, you see it's very easy. We just need to comment one line. Let's execute it. Okay. Now we are launching Firefox browser. This is URL and everything. Now we have opened the Google URL on Firefox browser this time, right? Similarly, if you need to launch Safari driver, just comment it out. Safari driver is equal to new Safari driver, right? You see, So this this is how by changing one line you can use the entire. That's why the interfaces are being you can say mentions now. But the problem over here is that every time if you need to launch any browser, then you every time you need to comment a line, then write a new line. Okay, every time you need to some comment and comment, comment and comment. So it's not a good practice. So we can use the topcasting concept over here. So that is the practical use of good topcasting. So the topcasting is every day we are using the topcasting. What we can do in the topcasting? Can I write it like this? Web. Let's comment it. Let's work on the any browser. Let's Firefox or Safari. Can I say it like WebDriver iWebDriver is equal to new Chrome driver? Can I write it like this? Yes, of course I can write. What is this? This is topcasting, right? Every day we are looking into the example. This is child class object can be referred by parent, right? Parent reference variable. So this is my parent where iWebDriver is parent, new Chrome driver is child. So I can write it like this, right? I cannot achieve the downcasting. I can achieve
Uh,
topcasting.
your screen is
Mhm.
locked now.
Okay, let me share it again. Just give me a second. Let me know if it's visible to you. Is it visible?
Yes, now it is visible.
Okay. So what we did, we instead of writing Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver, we write it like that iWebDriver instead of Chrome driver. So now what is this driver? So this is a parent interface. We can say parent interface reference variable pointing to the Chrome driver object, right? So but the problem is still there, right? Like if I need this time, if I need to write that Firefox driver, then I need to write it like iWebDriver is equal to new Firefox driver. The problem is still there. So to solve this problem, what we can do, like at the class level, we can define a browser, just like a static. Recall all those concepts that we have done so far. Let us say web driver driver. At the class level, I just declare a variable. My variable name is driver, and what is the type of variable? It's iWebDriver type, right? It's showing warning because we haven't used this. This should not be nullable. Okay. Now, inside that man method, I just declare a variable, just like I was declaring static int a. Similarly, static iWebDriver. The iWebDriver is the type of this driver. Okay. So we have defined this at the class level. Now, inside the man method, let us say pass give some value to the browser. Okay. Or we can say like string. Let's define some browser name. String. My browser name is, let us say, Chrome. If my browser name is Chrome, then write some if conditions that we also have done previously as well. Let us say if
And your
my
screen
browser.
is again locked.
Okay, I'll share it again. Maybe Teams. This Skype is. And the C, is it logged for you as well? Ashwini, could you please check the internet connection from your side?
Yeah, I am using now mobile network.
Okay. Is it visible? Don't worry, we'll write
Yes,
it.
yes.
So now we have defined a variable. We are just giving a browser name, just like Chrome, like this, and my browser name equals Chrome. Please be on mute. And if it's not visible, then If my browser name is equal to Chrome, then write line to launch the Chrome browser. Okay, let us say driver is equal to new Chrome driver. What will happen? My Chrome driver will get launched, and this is the same driver, right? That we have defined it over here. So there is an error. Driver is not null over here. So we have used that static. Yeah, I'll explain you why it's not an error. We cannot in C sharp we cannot declare a local variable like this. Okay, we'll resolve this. Just focus on the concept. I'll just resolve this. So if my browser name is equals to Firefox, then code to launch the Firefox drivers would be written over here. If I need to launch my browser name is equals to, let us say, Safari, then Safari would be like we can return that. Similarly, if like we have given such a name, something else that is not in our scope. So these are not if condition. This is else if. Previously as well we have done this else if, and at the end else you can print a message just like please. You can say it like please provide a correct browser name or whatever you want. The message you can print it. Like please pause the right browser. This is how like you have uh, uh
Can you please share the screen again?
yeah. I'll take this few minutes more. It's already 8:30 for you. Okay. Is it visible? Please do let me know if it's visible to you.
Yes, it is visible now.
So what we did, we just on the class level, we just to achieve the cross browser logic, right? We are doing cross browser testing over here. If you are not want to achieve the cross browser, for an example, your application is running only on Chrome driver, then you can directly write it like Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver and use these concepts. But most of the applications are working on the different browser and you have to test them maybe on Firefox, depends upon the business requirement. So tomorrow you may need to your customer may, hey, please run these test cases on the Firefox browser. Then you again come into the class and will comment over. No, we need not to change our framework once we have developed this. Everything should be like controlled from externally. Like so, this line string browser we will define further. We may define this inside. We can say config file. We will not write these concepts inside a class config, or we can say any JSON file or like Excel. Will this command, if you write Chrome over there, the Chrome will match, will Chrome driver will get launched and will be able to access all these common methods. If from the config file or Excel file, if we'll change Chrome to Firefox, then automatically we'll write our code in such a way, the dynamic code, that the Firefox driver this time will get launched and we can say we will be able to achieve that. Yeah, everything. So let me, instead of class level, let me make it at that local first, and then we'll figure it out. What is the error? So inside, yes, I can do that. At the class level, I'm writing one method. Sorry, I'm defining variable static web driver. This should be I web driver. public static I Webdriver. So yeah, non-nullable field driver must contain a non-nullable value. If I'll provide some value over here, then there is no such error. Okay, but I don't want to give this particular value over here. I'm just defining this as a type of driver. Yeah, and here is my main method. Inside my main method, I just created an like variable type browser. If browser dot this, so public static, I don't know why it's showing error. This should refer to this. Yeah, static property. Okay, so I'll figure it out like why it's showing an error. We are missing something. Very silly mistake we are doing. Spelling is same. The problem we are facing over here is that like this, we just need to refer this over here. So that's why it's not taking the reference. It's that's why it's showing the error. I'll figure it out. Maybe we can discuss in the upcoming session because I don't want to delay. It's already 8:30. So okay, tomorrow I'll fix this and we'll execute this and see the output. But the main concept is to understand the logic, to implement all, like to create our own tool, how we can achieve this, and uh, how we can do that, right? This is how that internally the Selenium tool is being developed. I'll figure that, I'll solve that and we'll update you. And is there any question related to this topic that you want to ask?
No questions from my side.
Thank you.